Welcome to Small Town Big Gays. I'm Bucket.
I don't know what Labubu sound like. I am a fat, slutty Labubu.
And I'm Bucket the Clown. Welcome to Small Town Big Gays.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Halloween.
Oh, God. Okay. All right. The voice is done now.
You want to know why they call me Bucket?
Because people want to chop you up and put you in a bucket after having to listen to this voice?
No, it's because I'm full of cum.
Oh, Jesus.
I love cum.
Yuck.
You're willing to talk to Chance?
You know, I never thought I would say that, but I would love nothing more than to talk to Chance.
Well, too bad. Chance is gone. It's only Bucket now. Chance was a prison. You want to know Bucket's pronouns?
I don't care
Bucket's
about Bucket.
pronouns are they, them, but not because I'm non-binary, because Bucket is Legion.
Okay,
I thought you would go with it being your pronouns.
that's too simple.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah. Anyway, how are you? Happy Halloween.
Happy spooky ookie cookie dookie day.
Labubu costume, very good.
I know.
Love it.
The viewers won't be able to see this, but come Saturday, I will be wearing a furry thong to match this.
Will you?
Yeah.
Love that.
Mm-hmm. Kim Kardashian said,
So did you buy Kim K's furry underwear or did you make these yourself?
I want you to think long and hard about if Kim K cares about fat people and then answer that question yourself.
Kim K has a very large butt. So if you make a thong big enough for her BBL, I feel like it could fit.
Have you ever seen Kim Kardashian?
No.
She's like 3'9" and her BBL looks huge on camera, but it's probably like the size of this. People in Hollywood
really
are
that?
tiny. Yeah, they're tiny.
I know they're all tiny, but I didn't realize
So-
Kim K was maybe that.
Her BBL is probably like a normal person's small. So again, no, Kim Kardashian would not make a pair of underwear to fit me, so I had to make them myself.
Okay, fair enough. Crafty queen. You look terrifying.
Do you want to fuck me?
No. Do you want to fuck me?
If you didn't do the voice.
What voice?
God.
Bucket the Clown.
If you are not watching the YouTube version, this will probably be the week to do it, maybe.
Yeah, we are in costume because this episode comes out on Halloween.
Halloweener.
Spooky, spooky, kooky. Is it your favorite holiday? It's my favorite holiday.
Okay, that's a loaded question. I do like Halloween. I love fall, but I think any drag queen or drag performer would tell you Halloween's a lot of work. So
Yeah.
it's not necessarily like fun. It's fun in the fact that like people are excited to be dressed up with you and do different things. So like it is fun, but it's just honestly a lot of work. I myself have 3 Halloween shows this week. And so that's potentially could have been 6 costumes. Am I doing that this year? No, because I'm a lazy bitch. But I did make my Labubu costume, and that's really all that matters. One is completely made from scratch. And to me, with my busy schedule, I'll take that as a win.
Yeah.
For the year.
Did you make this jacket from scratch?
Yes.
Did you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Do you doubt my abilities to do
No,
things?
I just don't know how one works with like that kind of fabric.
It's a pain in the ass. I think I look like a club kid.
You do look like a club kid.
Like this is a club
Honestly,
kid
this
outfit.
would not be out of place in like early 90s New York club before Michael Alig did the thing. R.I.P. Rest in power, King. Tell me a scary story. What's the scariest thing you've ever encountered?
Honestly, it was not that long ago. It was just a few days ago. Felicia Ashton was sitting on my couch.
True.
That was spooky.
True.
Honestly, the scariest thing about it was her wig that came from 1980. Hard front line.
But that's for next week. You guys get to see that.
Okay, so truly horrifying. Well, I mean, that wig was, but...
Well, first off, it's the Halloween season. Do you believe in ghosts?
Okay, I go back and forth with this because I believe that children are the future.
Okay.
But I also believe that there is life after love. Okay, I don't know how to explain this because I believe that there is maybe energy. Because I truly believe when you die, you just die and nothing happens. Like there's no heaven or hell. It's just you're done. But I want to believe in reincarnation, but I don't think that it's possible because I feel like if there was, then we would have more connection to like past memories. But then you do have like people who are psychics and like people who are like sensitive and empaths that like experience things that can't be explained. So maybe they are, but maybe they're just crazy. I'm not really sure where I stand on all of it because I feel like I've had paranormal experiences, which we'll talk about, but I also feel like I'm just crazy.
Yeah, you are.
What about you?
Okay. Difficult question to answer. Yes.
Okay.
I think ghosts are real. However, I don't think they are the spirits of dead people.
Okay.
I don't believe in the soul necessarily.
Okay.
And I think in order for the ghosts to be spirits of dead people, you have to believe in the soul. I don't believe in the soul. I do believe in energies. And also, I'm a Keelian, John Keel, paranormal investigator and writer, wrote the Mothman Prophecies that was turned into a fantastic movie starring Richard Gere. And he was one of the pioneers of ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot. All of it is the same thing, and it just matters like what your context is. If you see a Bigfoot in a house, it's a ghost, but if you see a ghost in the woods, it's a Bigfoot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I believe in all of it.
Okay.
In a weird way.
Yeah, I don't know how to like I don't know what it is, but like okay, so my first experience with like what I'll say as a paranormal experience is right after my parents got divorced. My mom moved in with my aunt and uncle because they had like an apartment above their house. I would always talk about seeing the brown coat guy because I would like see this like I couldn't tell you a face, but it just felt like a figure that was wearing like a brown trench coat and like a fedora, and I would see it in the hallway whenever I would like walk past the hallway a lot.
Spooky.
But like I don't remember like like any facial features or anything. I specifically remember the trench coat and the fedora more than anything. I was terrified of our bathroom as a kid growing up.
In the same house?
Nope, different house before my parents got divorced. So I guess I should have.
How many times did you see the brown coat guy?
Oh, a lot.
Like every night?
Not every night, but like, I don't know. Quite often.
Do you remember what he did?
Just stood there.
Just like in the corner of your room?
No, in the hallway.
Oh, in the hallway.
Yeah. So like there was a little hallway that like, I don't know, just it was like the main hallway, and I would just always see him standing there like if I'd walk past or whatever. But like he didn't do anything or move or anything. He was just
chilling.
Yeah. But this all like I think comes back to like one time before my parents were divorced, we had this babysitter who like played like, I don't know, this game with us, like Bloody Mary or something. We would like say someone and then she'd pretend to be like possessed by that spirit. So like we were like Marilyn Monroe and she was like, and then like Bloody Mary, and then she's like, I was like trying. Yeah, it was like really fucking weird, and like the fact that our babysitter did that. She was in high school.
I kind of love it. And
my brother and I were young. Like I was probably first grade. My brother would have been like third grade then, doing that to us, which was, I don't know, maybe my first experiences. So anyways, one point like she was like a scary ghost, and so we had to go in the bathroom and like lock ourselves away from her. I think her friend was there too, because a friend was like in the bathroom with us, and like I remember there was like a shelf we pulled out like from the vanity, but the door was open, so like she could get like halfway in and was like and like tormenting us. But I also think that there was a lot of really crappy things that happened in my house when I was a kid that led to some traumas of being afraid of the bathroom in certain places of my house. So I don't know. That's why I'm saying like I don't know if it's real or if it's just trauma manifesting its way in different things.
So what about that last story was ghosty? Seems like the babysitter was just trying to scare you.
Yeah, she was like acting like different spirits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which like made me afraid to be in the bathroom because I remember like that's a very vivid memory. Obviously, I'm 38 years old and remember that.
Of her trying to get at you.
Yeah. So I don't know if that like just some traumas led to that. But anyways, Trenchcoat Man was like my first experience with
the real ghost.
With what I would say is maybe.
What have you had since then?
God, I'm going to really sound like a crazy person this episode, and I don't know if they're ready for this.
Here's the unfortunate thing. Despite being a paranormal guy and loving ghost hunting and Bigfoot and all that shit, I don't really have any spooky stories because I want it too bad. Yeah. I genuinely think that if you are the kind of person like me, where I want nothing more than to like experience a ghost or see a UFO or have an encounter with Bigfoot, I truly believe that the more you want it, the less likely it is to happen. Because like they can tell. And also I'm like open to it. So it's not some people, it's the opposite of they don't want it so bad that they're closed off to it. But I want it so bad, but I'm also like skeptical enough because I read so much of this shit and I want it to be true. Like my entire like past several weeks are I have 4 occult books next to my bed, and that's what I'm doing at night is reading about magic.
Yeah.
And shit. But I want it so bad that it will never happen to me. And when anything does happen, I'm always like, okay, I'm looking for an explanation because I want to be able to not find an explanation. And I'm not that lucky.
I feel like now that we're talking about it, the more I realize, the more things have happened to me. But I think I am like a little bit of an empath, maybe. I don't know. Again, I don't know how I feel about all this, but my next like encounter, so Trenchcoat Man, I feel like kind of followed me a lot throughout my life.
They often do. When was the last time you saw Trenchcoat Man?
Well, we'll get into that because that's a really good ending story. Saw Trenchcoat Man right around the time my parents first got divorced in the first house that we moved out of my childhood home. Another year later, my mom moved us an hour and a half away she bought a bar in a town called Gilman, Wisconsin. Horrible, horrible little town.
Fuck you, Gilman, Wisconsin.
Yeah, bitches. Just kidding.
Unless you're a gay person who lives there, in which case, thank you for listening.
Yes. So she bought a bar, and the house was attached to the bar, and it was like an old bar. Like it had been there for many, like since maybe I'm making this up, but since maybe the 1800s. Like it was old. Never, ever, ever felt comfortable being in that house alone. Never. Like even my mom owned it for quite a few years. So she owned it from when I was in 4th grade till like freshman year. And even like as an 8th grader, I would refuse to be alone in that house ever. Like I just never felt comfortable in there. It was very, very eerie. I remember one of the first times that I was alone in the house, which was not often because I didn't like to be left alone. The bar was not open. I was there alone, and there was just like a small door, like a normal door, like a wooden door in your house, between the bar and our home. So it wasn't like a whatever. And I could hear people in the bar like talking, and I was like, what the hell? No one should be here. Maybe someone like broke in. So I like went into the bar, and there was no one in there. And I looked in the parking lot. No one was in the parking lot. So then I was terrified and ran out of there. And at this time, I was probably in 4th or 5th grade. And like, what can I do? My neighbors are all like miles away. One of my favorite things to do was to grab our riding lawnmower and drive to the neighbor's house. So I went into the garage, which was next to the bar portion of the home. And I went into the garage to get the lawnmower to go into my neighbor's. And I could hear the people in the bar again. And I like panicked. So then I went and like looked in the window because I was like, maybe and there was nothing in there again.
Spooky.
Yeah, it was terrifying. Also, one time I remember, I was like, I don't think I'm going to tell that part of the story because that just makes me sound insane. But well, I've told you I witnessed a murder before, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was right around the time that happened. I was obviously like my emotions were heightened and I was scared all the time, which you're a 5th grader who witnessed someone getting murdered. Yeah, it's, so I remember I was just like extra fearful that night, and my brother was gone somewhere with like a friend or whatever. So I was in the house part by myself, but the bar was open. It was at night, like probably 8 or 9 at night. And my mom had the TV on in her room, and I was in the hallway, like walking into the bathroom, and all of a sudden it felt like the TV was like strobing, like a strobe light, like, and I could see like a person walking towards me, like just like a shadow of a person, not like a real image of anything. And I was terrified.
Hearing voices in the bar, that's what we call a residual haunting.
Yeah.
Because the theory is that there's energy, and then it just kind of is like a record, like a broken record. It just keeps skipping and repeating and stuff.
Yeah.
I actually do have one of my few spooky stories is related to the bar. So like, as most of our listeners know, because most of our listeners are local, I ran Firehouse for 7 years. Being the bar manager at a bar there alone during the day. This would always happen during the day, mostly. You're there during the day alone a lot. And so I would hear like footsteps up on the bar floor while I was downstairs in the office, and would pop my head upstairs and there would be no one there. That would happen quite often. And then my one real spooky story was it was during the day, and we have those like little glass rinsers on the bar. And there's a grate that goes on top of this glass rinser. It was taken apart, so the nut that held the grate onto like the sprayer thing was on the lip of the bar. And I was filling my coffee at the end of the bar from my thermos. I was not touching the bar. I looked at it on camera. I was not touching the bar, and I hear the clink of metal as the bolt that was sitting on the lip of the bar falls into the glass rinser tray. And like I went and watched it on camera, and you could see I was not touching the bar at the time. It just fell in. And that's my main spooky story. Poltergeist activity.
That sucks.
Yeah.
What a lame story for you.
Yeah. It was kind of spooky, though.
Yeah. It always catches you off guard.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just not sympathetic enough to be an empath, so you can't experience it. Maybe you're just a mean, bad person.
I am a mean, bad person. And I actually do struggle with empathy. It's something I'm working on.
Yeah.
It is so hard to care about other people. I'm sorry.
I wrote Chance a really sweet text the other day, and he just wrote back gay to me.
Yeah.
I am the type of person where I try and be like, I think people go about life not telling their friends how much they actually care about them, even though we know it in spirit. But I try to be better about like letting my friends know that I truly care about them and appreciate them. So I'll sometimes just randomly text people and be like, I know this is really weird and kind of corny, but I just want you to know that I really care about you and I appreciate what you do.
Hate it.
Well, hate it. That's why you can't have ghosts in your life.
Yeah, probably.
And that's why I have all of them.
Well, we'll see what happens when I start summoning demons from the Lesser Key of Solomon. Anyway, what's your next ghost story?
I was trying to think of it, and I just have a lot of them. I think I'll just chalk most of it up to a very overly wild imagination. Clearly, I'm sitting here in a fucking Labubu costume, so like my whole life has just been about creativity and active imaginations. But like a lot of houses I would just not feel comfortable in. My grandparents' house, I felt comfortable there because it was this like safe space for me, but I always felt like a negative energy in there. Like, I don't want to say negative energy, but like there was something there.
Are you sure it wasn't just bad gas?
I did have a really bad problem with constipation as a kid, so it could have been.
Interesting. We're unpacking things.
I needed to be unpacked, mama. Let me tell you that.
Whenever Tom's constipated, I always offer to put a finger up his butt. He always says no.
Well, that's sweet of you.
Yeah. If he said yes, I wouldn't do it, but
okay.
You know, it's nice to offer.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue. Sorry.
I had a friend in high school. Her father passed away, but I'd never met him. But I could always tell he was there. Like, we would just be in the room and I could feel him. I don't know, like I felt this very strong energy every time I was in that house.
I think you might be psychic. We've talked about this before.
Yeah, I think I might be too, but I'm terrified of it.
We could test it. I forgot to bring my... Oh, God. I'm remembering past episodes of this podcast that we've been doing for almost a year now, where I said I was going to test your psychic abilities during this episode.
Yeah.
And I forgot the cards to do it. Damn.
It's okay. Next season. Yeah. So like certain people's houses, my aunt's house too, I would always feel uneasy. Later on in life, my mom moved back to Eau Claire and we moved into a house with my uncle. I never really felt there was like certain parts of that house I didn't really like either.
Mainly your uncle's bedroom.
No. No. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. I've like definitely like feel like I have feelings, but I don't know if it's just an overactive imagination, but I also do have a lot of experience with sleep paralysis.
Yeah. Tell me about sleep paralysis. Cause that's another fun thing I've never experienced.
Yeah. See,
I want it so bad.
No, you don't. It's terrifying.
I really do though.
And that I just chalk up to being fat and have sleep apnea. I don't think I have sleep apnea, but I think, I just chalk that one. I like feel like is a very like easily scientifically explained one.
Yeah,
maybe.
but the thing with that is just because there is like an external explanation doesn't necessarily make it not kind of paranormal.
I don't know.
Because I think there's limits to what you know, I don't want to be the crunchy guy, but I think there's limits to what science can explain. And there's so much about the brain that we just don't know. Like, it's entirely possible that every ghost you've ever seen is actually just happening in your brain.
Yeah.
It's entirely likely, actually, that every paranormal experience that you've ever had is all only happening within your brain.
Am I schizophrenic?
No.
Okay.
But schizophrenia is a good example of, like, you're experiencing these hallucinations and these voices, and just because it is happening in your brain doesn't make it not real, necessarily. It's just not, you know? And with alien abduction, specifically, because that's where a lot of my studying goes to, like, alien abductions. What is actually happening in, like, 99%? What?
Keep going.
What is actually happening in like 99% of alien abductions, is it because I'm a clown explaining aliens right now?
No.
What's actually happening is you are sitting there in your bed just like that, just tripping balls for, you know, 30 seconds. But in your head, you're being abducted by fucking little grays and being taken off on a ship to a different galaxy and all that stuff. That doesn't necessarily make it not real, just because it's a psychic phenomena, which I know is controversial. But if people have done the reading, you'll understand where I'm coming from. smalltownbiggays@gmail.com. I will send you my reading list.
I'm Bucket.
God.
What were you laughing about?
Nothing.
Labubu.
Nothing.
La bitch
I love
bitch.
your passion. Yes. So I have had sleep paralysis many times. Usually they all end because they're very vivid, and I remember them because they're terrifying.
So do you experience like the guy sitting on your chest, or
no? My thing is, like, I've never, like, I don't, other than the trench coat thing, we're just seeing like a trench coat and fedora. I've never experienced like physically seeing ghosts, but I experience them. Like I feel like I feel them, like the energy of stuff. So anytime I've had a sleep paralysis experience, it's always been where I have felt an energy in my house, and I very vividly am in my house. And I usually, because I think this is like growing up with my trauma of Christianity, but I end up like trying to exorcise the demon out of my house. And I usually like end up in like something like the Lord's Prayer or something, and like being like, you're not welcome here, and then like it is like intense, and then it's like I wake up and like
Cool.
No, it's not cool. It's terrifying because
Cool.
you're out of breath. You can't breathe.
Also, I just realized
you're
fedora
terrified.
trench coat, that's Hat Man. You're seeing Hat Man.
Okay.
Do you know this?
No.
You don't know what Hat Man is?
No.
Okay, so this actually can dive into something else, which is archetypes. Do you know what archetypes are? Archetypes are universal truths, which is, or not truths, but stories. So, which is a thing across every single like culture.
Am I going to get locked up for this episode? Are people going to put me in a psych ward?
No. So archetypes. Carl Jung, famous psychologist, also really big into aliens. Carl Jung kind of laid out these different archetypes that throughout human experience, throughout different cultures on different continents, humans have always experienced similar things. So like, you know, the story of the flood, like the Great Flood, the biblical story, that isn't a story that's exclusive to Mesopotamian cultures and Abrahamic religions that sprang out of Mesopotamia. That is universal to pretty much every culture in the world has a flood myth. Did you know that?
I'm not surprised by it.
Isn't that interesting?
Not really.
So then there's other stuff that I'm ignoring you. We have these archetypes. So like a good example of an archetype is how if I say there's a ghost in a house, you immediately think Victorian woman, right?
No.
When you shut up.
I don't, but
what do you
okay.
think?
I think of Fedora Man, but go on.
You think of Fedora Man. Okay,
Yeah.
but like if you think of like a pop culture ghost, you think of like a Victorian woman.
Yeah.
That and people who see ghosts see like a woman in old-timey clothes, you know, walking through the hall or whatever. Even in like new built houses, sometimes people will see like a Victorian fucking woman ghost, because that's an archetype of what you think a ghost is.
Okay.
So the theory is, if we want to get into like the eighth tower, extra dimensional, ultra terrestrial theory of paranormal stuff, basically what's happening is some signal from outside, they call it the eighth tower because of this story that I'm not going to get into because I don't remember it mostly, but the eighth tower is basically beaming a signal into your fucking brain, okay? And then your brain basically breaks and you experience something that you literally can't comprehend, like a fourth dimensional being, because we can't comprehend the fourth dimension. And so you experience this thing that breaks your brain, and since your brain can't just like see nothing where it's seeing this fourth dimensional fucking entity, it fills in the gaps by pulling archetypes from the collective unconscious. So you see this thing in your house that you can't comprehend, and your brain, since it doesn't like not comprehending stuff, puts a Victorian woman over top of this fourth dimensional entity so that your brain has something to like look at, basically. And that's archetypes. Okay. And Hatman is an archetype.
Okay.
People all over the world see Hatman.
Okay.
Mostly when they're on Benadryl.
Okay.
I'm Bucket. Bucket loves ghosts.
Clearly.
Bucket loves you.
Very passionate about this subject.
Bucket's gonna come in your bed tonight.
I'm actually really disappointed that you don't have any good ghost stories.
I don't. It is disappointing. My only ones are the poltergeist activity, the seeing or the hearing footsteps a lot. One time it was again at the bar because Firehouse was haunted, and it might have just been haunted from me because I wanted it to be haunted so bad.
Do you want me to disappoint you?
What?
I've never felt anything there.
Most people don't.
The venue? Yep.
Yeah, the venue might be haunted. But one time I was down in the basement of Firehouse, and there's that utility sink. There's a utility sink in the basement of the bar I used to work at. And the beer cooler, like the keg cooler, is off. When you're standing at the sink, the beer cooler is to your left. And one day I was like filling a mop bucket or something at that utility sink, and I saw the silhouette of a person standing next to the beer cooler. I thought it was Nick, and I turned to look at him like I thought he was trying to scare me, and there was no one there. Other things that happened at Firehouse, not to me, but people would be down in the basement during the clean, and a chair would fall off one of the tables. They were up there all night. There wasn't any like banging around. Chairs just kind of fell off. One time there's a beer cooler on top of this, at the top of the stairs, and there used to be fire helmets on top of there. One of the other bartenders said that once they saw a helmet like get thrown down the stairs, and there used to be a lip on top, like a ledge on top of that sticking up, so it couldn't just like fall over. It had to be like picked up and thrown over that ledge. Yeah, Paige saw a woman in white in the bathroom.
Was it a reflection?
It was not. She was cleaning, and there's a friend there with her, and she goes into the women's bathroom to clean, and sees a woman in a white dress walking behind her, and she's talking to this person because she thinks it's her friend that's there with her, and then like 2 minutes later realizes that she's in the bathroom alone, and her friend is A, out in the main bar, and B, not wearing a white dress. So that's spooky woman in white, another archetype. And then, yeah, those are the main stories. Do you believe in psychics?
I want to. I don't think they are, though.
Have you ever been to one? What'd they say?
If you want to know the actual facts of what this psychic told me, she told me that I'm an alien princess from another planet.
Cool.
She tried to have a connection with me to being obsessed with Pop-Tarts as a kid. Untrue, but good reach. Being a fat person, it was a good chance that I would have taken that. I think she said that my heritage is Pacific Islander.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, I do have another good one. That was just a really wild experience, but bless her heart. She might listen. I don't know. She's local. I did go to one, like a group thing. One of my clients used to own a place that was like a wellness center, healing energy stuff. And there was a lady who was doing psychic stuff, but like a group setting. And I took my mom's mom, Evelyn, who's my salon's named after, I was really close with growing up, at her funeral. It was inside a building, and someone bought this I can't remember who bought it for us, but this like really beautiful wind chime. But it was like a huge sucker, like would take a good gust of wind to get that going. Like beautiful. We had it hung up there like the whole time, like for the viewing and all this stuff. And like people were walking by it and doing all this stuff. It never once moved, did nothing, make even the slightest little like shimmy chime. During the pastor's speech or whatever, I don't know, it's not the eulogy, but just like they were talking, trying to find comfort in death, you know, talked about like how, you know, like they'll send us signs and like let us know that their love's still there. And the wind chime started going off.
Oh,
like aggressively.
Interesting.
Not aggressively, but like it was loud and you knew. And so my grandpa, like, of course, you know, poor man just lost his wife and like hung that wind chime up in the house, like always hoping that it would go off again and whatever. And like, cause it spooked everyone in there. Cause it was like literally people were walking by all day. Like it never got hit. Like it never made any noise with like movement around it. And then like no one was moving. The pastor talks about signs from your loved ones, and that wind chime went off. So
oogie spooky.
My grandma Evelyn was very into, like she loved John Edwards and like psychic stuff like that. That was like her one of her things I remember about her. So I know someone who is, I would say, is like a psychic person, and they were a friend, but like wouldn't know like a lot of my family. And they were like able to describe my dad's mom, who had passed away a few years earlier, like was describing her perfectly. And then like down to an outfit. And then I like ended up finding the picture, and it was like a picture from her like funeral thing, which was kind of crazy. But she ended up telling me that my mom's mom was going to like be sick and that you should try and spend as much time with her as possible. And then she literally ended up getting cancer and dying like 6 months later, which was kind of ooky spooky. But my grandma Evelyn really believed in that. And so like she really like took it to heart, and it was like a whole kind of journey thing we went on. But anyway, so there was like some stuff within that. So this chance came for this opportunity came for this psychic group reading thing. So I was like,
why you had to change it from chance,
because I know, that was exactly why right there.
Sorry, continue.
So I thought, oh, this is great. I'll bring my mom because she's like, we'll be into it because of the freaking chimes and you know whatever. So I bring my mom to this psychic reading, and we went with Shelly and Shelly's mom. And my mom was so hell-bent on hearing from my grandma. So this woman, you know, she'd be like, I'm getting like a female energy or something. And my mom's like, oh, that's us, you know? And then she's like, well, this person's like really into like, I'm getting like wood chopping, like chores, like doing chores things. And my mom's like, nope, not us. And she's like, no, I feel like it's coming from over here. And she's like, you know, like, she's like, I see a lot of stacking wood and like farm work. My mom's like, nope, not us. And she's like, no, it like really is coming from you. And she's like, I'm also like seeing like church, like a lot of involvement in church and singing. Nope, not us. Because she just was so hell-bent on seeing my and like hearing from my grandma.
Yeah.
And then she's like, and I see like these like a dancing and like kind of like competitively. And because I was like so listening to my mom, like I was like, oh, like, no, that wasn't for us or whatever, because my mom was hell-bent on it not being for us, that I kind of just like pawned it off later. And then later I was talking to Shelly and her mom, and she's like, your mom was like really like closed off to like hearing anything this woman had to say except for that. And I was like, I know. And then I was like trying to think. And then like I was thinking about it. My grandma on my dad's side, like that was one of like my memories I have, is like having to chop wood because they had a wood stove in their house. They owned a farm, and I didn't think about this at first, but my grandma and grandpa were huge polka dancers. Like they would go polka dancing, and they did it like competitively. Cute. Yeah. So I was like, oh, maybe it really was for us, but just a different thing. But who the fuck knows? I mean, I feel like there's like, you can just say stuff and it's going to resonate with someone. Like I mean, obviously we all come from like farming backgrounds in some sort, you know? Like,
yeah, there's all farming in our backgrounds.
Yeah.
It's
So I don't know. I think
Wisconsin.
there's like reaches for things like that, but
Well, I mean, that is kind of what I think about psychics in general is like, I think
psychics, gargoyles, it's dark-sided. I want none of it in my house. In Jesus' name I pray, get out of here. Wife swap.
Anyway, psychics, my thought on psychics and like all of these things, because as we know, I just did a Reiki appointment last week. It was lovely. Love her. She might be listening. With psychics and all that stuff is, I think a lot of times there are people who have like more sensitivities to the veil, like you perhaps, one might think. I'm thinking of a color. What color am I thinking of?
Oh, you were talking to me.
Yeah.
Sorry. Purple.
Blue.
But you need blue to make purple.
You do need blue to make purple, and that's what we call a reach.
Call me Sylvia Brown.
I think,
Honey, the purple. You need blue to make purple, honey.
I think some psychics, not all, some people have a more of an ability to like pierce the veil, so to speak, than others. And I think a lot of times when it comes to psychics is they do have like more ability for that than like your average Joe, but then they juice it because they think, oh, well, I'm right sometimes. So now every thought that pops into my head is a psychic reading and not just thoughts.
I think it's just crazy people. I think I'm crazy. I think I've experienced a lot of trauma in my life that leads me to being extra sensitive.
I think trauma makes you extra sensitive, and I think that makes you in touch with the ghosts.
I don't know. I'm still not buying it. I just think that I'm a crazy person because I've experienced a lot of trauma, and this was like my childhood way of dealing with it. And like the more we talk about it, the more I realize I just have like experience after experience of weird shit.
Go on.
Well, now I just feel crazy though.
Give me another one. I'm sitting here yelling about 1970s parapsychological theories. And
Yeah.
you think you're the crazy one?
Well, I mean, people know you're crazy though. It's less expected with me.
That's true. Bucket's crazy. Bucket's crazy, and Bucket is going to be in your bed tonight. In your bedroom, standing in the corner. You're going to wake up in the middle of the night, 3:33 p.m., a.m., p.m., and you're going to see Bucket just standing in the corner of your room.
Have you ever felt like a connection with like someone who's like passed on, like whether it be like a famous person or like a relative that you never met?
My Reiki lady said I was at the Salem witch trials.
Okay. Oh,
That was cold reading. She had some things that she clocked, but it was a lot of cold reading. But that's not her fault.
that's those kind of things. Okay. I have one of those as well. I've always felt a really strong connection with my uncle. I think I told you about this uncle, how he like passed away, and there's like so much mystery behind it, and my family's very secretive about it.
Yeah, I vaguely recall.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not going into it. It doesn't really matter. It's not part of it. But one time my aunt said he reminded me a lot of you, and I always connected that to maybe some queerness. But yeah, I don't know. Have you ever been out to Caryville?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we did that a lot.
That was a nice segue into something I was going to talk about. Have you had any experiences at Caryville?
Not really. We did have like some headlights following us for a while, and then like disappeared. But that's like pretty.
I mean, it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and like everyone's
roads.
out there, especially like at this time of year, driving around trying to see the.
So Caryville is this tiny town, and it's like the most, quote unquote, the most haunted town in Wisconsin.
Do you want me to give you the final showdown of the trench coat man?
Yes.
Are you ready for it?
Hat man.
I think I've told you about it.
Probably, but
and I was doing a year-long mission, and I was living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It was like my first time really moving away from home, and we lived in an old nunnery. Is that what you call it? I don't know, where the Catholic nuns lived.
yeah, convent.
Convent, yes, the old convent, which was attached to the church. Did not like being in that place. Our very first night there, mind you, I just left home, going to live with 4 strangers who I've never met before, only known about a week. We're getting a tour, and there's this gentleman who lives there named Dennis. He was an unhomed man before that, and he became a member of the church, and then they like helped him by letting him live there, and he would like, watch over the place at night, whatever. He was a pretty lovely man. while giving the tour, he decided to tell us that he had been having what he called demon dreams at night, where he, I'm guessing by the way he was describing it, is he was having sex dreams about people he shouldn't have been, and felt like there was a spirit of unwellness inside of him that he needed to have out. So they then therefore started praying and exorcising him.
Just right then and there.
Right then and there. All my roommates and myself, I was terrified because they were praying over him, and then she's like, I rebuke the spirit of whatever, and he's like, "Wah, wah," like going crazy.
Love that for him.
I do not love that for him. I was terrified. I was a Lutheran growing up.
Why do all these things happen to other people and not me?
I was scared to death. I felt really uneasy in that church all the time. I don't know what happened to me, but I decided to tell the church lady that, who did the exorcism. And she then coaxed out of me that it's probably Fedora Hat Man. And then they performed an exorcism on me in that church. And
love that for you. Did you go?
I did not. I did poop. I'm just kidding. I don't know why I said that. Nothing happened. Nothing was released. No gas was released. Nothing happened. Yeah, but I will say that, like, not that I really felt Hat Man much more past like childhood. I did a lot of times feel like people were watching me, just like in an uncomfortable way. Like, you know, like if you were just sitting in a room watching TV and someone was in the corner looking at you. Like, I will say, like, after the exorcism, I felt a lot less of that for a while. But
so you got exorcised?
Maybe. I don't know. Do you want to know what happened in this house once?
What?
Before I moved in here, I had a really terrible sleep paralysis experience, Barbara can tell you, where I was actually terrified to be in my house for a couple nights, so I stayed over at Barb's house. Yeah, I was terrified to be at home. Like, it was really bad. It was a really intense one. So I never like felt at ease again for a while after that, and then I ended up moving in here. I don't know. I felt really uncomfortable in here for a while, and Shelly and I decided to sage the house because that's what they tell you to do. And I had this bedside table in my room when I originally moved in here, and I just felt weird about it, and I moved it into the basement. And so Shelly and I were staging the house, whatever it was. She kept feeling something about that nightstand. We couldn't get the drawer open on it, which, like, it had opened perfectly fine before, but all of a sudden we couldn't get it open. And then, like, Shelly was like saging it, and then, like, I don't know if she was saying stuff around it, and then all of a sudden we could, like, open the drawer like nothing had happened.
Weird.
It's kind of weird.
Spooky.
Yeah.
Haunted object.
Yeah. I still have the sage in the garage.
Oh.
If you ever want to sage it in here again, we can. See if anything happens.
Saging is mildly problematic.
Okay, well, whatever.
My brother saw a ghost. Because, again, everything good happens to other people. He saw a man walk, like, past his bed and then bend down to, like, look him in the face.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I feel like I had one more good one, but I can't remember what it is now. My whole life is just one spooky ooky season.
I was going to say, and you want to know what the scariest thing of all is? Your life.
It is pretty terrifying.
You're a 38-year-old man who dresses like a woman. So much harder to do clown makeup than I thought it was going to be.
How long did it take you?
Not very long. 10 minutes.
Okay. Then,
If I had tried harder, and also if I wasn't using like 3-year-old Halloween makeup,
yeah, I would like to see you give it an actual effort once.
I would like to give it an actual effort, but
I mean, granted, we film on Tuesdays, and it's in the afternoon in the middle of our day, so we're not going to be giving
100%.
This took me about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was a story I was going to tell you. I remembered my other good one.
Jerking off?
No. So how I was telling you is, like, I always felt like kind of weird at my grandparents' house. Like, I felt an energy in there. After my grandma had passed, while I was at the church where I was exorcised, mind you. So I was I was in a manic state, I'm sure. I had this very vivid dream of feeling really uncomfortable at my grandparents' house. And I went upstairs, and I can, like, see it. I can still see it in my head right now. Like, it was exactly how their house was. And I picked up a piece of glass, like, just like a regular piece of glass, and there was a frosted, like, you know how glass gets frosted, and it was like a frosted image of a man's face on it. And it like made me feel so uncomfortable. Like it freaked me the fuck out. I felt really horrible. Like all sleep paralysis dreams that happened with me, I started, you know, chanting and doing my praying at it, and like I was really bad. I woke up terrified, and I kept having this the name Hank in my head. So then I told the church lady. I should have never trusted her. She did have snacks, so she was my friend. She had really great snacks on her desk that I would steal. I was a bad person. So she told me to look up what the, like, because names have meaning. And I looked it up, and Hank is the watcher. So she told me that it was like a bad watcher spirit watching over my grandpa, and I needed to pray for him.
Religious people always take ghosts and everything negatively.
Yeah.
Maybe it's watching over you.
Shelly killed my turtle around that time, too.
That bitch, Shelly.
We've said enough.
I think we have.
I think I've held the torch to this podcast, of which I was expecting you to.
I just don't have any spooky stories.
Well, maybe we should hang out together more, and you'll have some experiences, because I am a psychic.
Sleepover.
Psychic Sylvia Brown's protege.
I went to a Reiki appointment. I felt some stuff, and the lady said that I was at the Salem witch trials, so that's pretty neat.
I think she's lying to you.
Told her literally I'm getting into the occult, so naturally she says, "Oh, you were at the witch trials."
Yeah. My guy made me cry for a good reason. He got me good.
What did he say?
He said that in a past life, I could tell that you were the type of person that was, he said, I feel like it was probably a feminine energy, and that you were revered for your looks and your beauty, but no one knew who you were on the inside. And that's why your lesson in this life is to learn to find the beauty within and not the beauty without.
So
and that's why you're fat and ugly.
Yeah.
And I was like, work, sister. He got me. He was right. Clocked the T, sis. But that is my biggest struggle in life, is to self-acceptance and self-love. So
boots, mama.
He got me.
Yeah.
You got me, gal.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Small Town Big Gays is hosted by Travis Gorell and me, Chance Smith. Our music is 1am by TYB. You can check out his music. Links are in the episode description. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at STBG Pod. Find us on Facebook if you're a Facebook person. Email us at smalltownbiggays@gmail.com. And for more shit from me, Chance, go to strangehavens.com.
It's been nice to fall asleep again.